Come back.
Okay.
Oi.
Good evening, folks. Hello out there in TVI fanland. I hope you're all right. It's been a long time since I saw you on one of these things, and various reasons. But obviously, we've been on holiday. That's the main reason why you've not seen me for a while. I've got two people joining me this week. I've got Lauren, as you can see, who is looking rather swish in a pink hoodie. Obviously, I've got mine on as well because it's a bit later than normal. I will get to the reason for that in a few moments' time. Nikki will be joining me as well in a moment. Nikki's just literally finished filming one of her videos. We've had to do everything at the back end of today this time, which is sort of push things awkwardly into one little part of the day, because straight after this I'll be going to bed. It has been a very difficult day, this, in one way or another. But you know, we manage, and we're here. I did promise there would be one of these things this week because you haven't seen me for 3 weeks. Here comes Nikki.
Oh, that wasn't me. That was the chair.
Yeah, the squeak of the chair in the kitchen. Nikki is free from the overtime cupboard this week, aren't you?
I am. Well, I wasn't earlier, but I am now.
You are now. Okay. So we've got 13 people in here, which is pretty good, actually, considering we're a bit later than normal. The reason we're a bit later is because this week we're having to adapt based on having two extra visitors in the house, which is a bit interesting, to say the least.
It doesn't affect things. It doesn't change what we do. It just moves things around a little bit because we have to adapt to different bedtimes and different meal times slightly, and other bits and pieces. And,
yeah. So this is why I did so much filming last week. I did 15 over 2 days, which was interesting because on the first day I got soaking wet through, and on the second day I was dying of heat exhaustion by the end. Welcome to the British summer.
What British summer?
Precisely. What British summer?
404 season not found.
I think summer's cancelled, isn't it? How's the weather been for you lot? I'm pretty sure it's been rainy if you live here in the good old UK, like me. For people like Dave Scott, hello Dave, in sunny old Australia. I'm sure you've had a decent time out there, have you not, with the weather?
What kind of temperatures are you getting, Dave?
Probably not anything like what we get here.
We get 4 seasons in a day.
Yeah. Luckily, though, the weather did hold out for us well while we were on holiday. So, that was a good thing. We were on the south coast, as you know. I'm sure you all know that. And I did a bit of filming down there, not too much. But the first of those episodes, which I made down there, is coming out later this week. It's coming on Friday. I'm sure you've seen the This Week on TVI video this morning. It's Boxgrove. It's near Chichester. We enjoyed Chichester, didn't we?
Yeah, it was a nice place. In fact, we enjoyed everywhere that we went. And we did manage to dodge the weather, because if we weren't going for a cup of tea or fish and chips, we were in an arcade or a swimming pool.
Yeah, this one over here, very, very adept in the swimming pool. Can swim quite good, actually.
Yeah,
and also very adept at chucking one of them blowing beach ball things around in it. although I have to admit,
you're better at it.
I have to admit, I had the biggest laugh of the holiday. I was in the pool with this big ball, which Hannah had won in the arcade, and I just batted it because it's one of them balls that sort of flies for ages if you just give it a good punch.
We were aiming it towards me because we were playing piggy in the middle.
Yeah, we were.
The girls were the pigs, and then we were the out to.
Yeah. Of course, it went nowhere near Lauren where it was supposed to go, and it ended up hitting this little lass on her head, just bang, like this.
She was about 12.
About 12, yeah, something like that.
And Mother was killing herself laughing.
It was so funny.
And I'm like, I'm so sorry. And Mother went, don't worry about it. It's the biggest laugh I've had.
So, yeah, we had a good time. And the first thing I want to talk about...
just have to be mindful of how loud you're being, because little ones in bed.
Yes, boss. The first thing I want to talk about,
know your station.
I do, is some
Central.
some things that you guys out there could get your hands on if you're clever enough. So, you know, obviously we went to the South Coast. Some of you know where we went on the South Coast, but we did go to some other places as well. Now, we've got 3 boxes of fudge, which look a little bit like this. Now, I've got my hand over the middle of this because if I probably would have been, yeah. Got 3 boxes of fudge. There we go.
Just for completeness.
Yeah, that one's I think that one there that you've got is the same as this one in my hand here.
So just for completeness, there you go.
There you go. 3 boxes of fudge. Now, this is going to be a bit awkward to do because I know you can't see this very well. But if you can guess where these came from, I'll show you the pictures a bit close up. Not the easiest thing to do, as I'm sure you're aware. There you go. And I'll show you the other one, which has got different pictures on it. Trying my best to cover the name of the place, which is at the bottom. Yes, they did come from a shop. Well done. But where is that shop? Where is that shop?
So it's not a guess where I am, it's guess where we've been.
Yeah, guess where we've been. If you can guess where this is, then I've got 3 of these boxes to give away. Now, don't put your answer in the chat here. Send me a message. Send me a message either to the TVI inbox or to my personal one if you get access to that. And the first 3 people to correctly identify where these came from will have one of them winging its way to them.
Just to say that the answers that have already come up in the chat box are incorrect. So, but please don't put any more in. Send a guess to the TVI inbox. And the first 3.
The first 3 to do so will win one of them.
What I would say is if it gets to say more than 10 correct answers, we'll probably do a random picker.
Yeah, something like that.
In all fairness,
Yeah, something like that. So yeah, 3 of them to give away. If you know where that is, then now's your chance to win a bit of fudge. I hope you like fudge. Last time I did one of these fudge giveaways, there was a couple of people that said they didn't like it, which is fair enough if you don't like it. But yeah, if you do, then you know now's your chance to get your hands on some, courtesy of
wherever we've been
and wherever we've been, of course, the shop that sold it. So yeah, that is the first thing I wanted to talk about this week. Now, the next thing is to do with the end of the York series. Now, obviously, the York series has sort of come to an abrupt halt. It shouldn't have done, but it has done because, obviously, last time you saw me on one of these things, I wasn't very well. And I wasn't very well for a couple of days afterwards, which meant that I couldn't get to York to film Haxby and Strensel with Tothorpe. Some of you have been asking about this. When am I going to do them? Well, I've been sort of having conniptions, basically, trying to work this out. I've planned out now everything between now and the end of the year, and I've managed to find a space for those 2 and for the last episode of York as well. 3 left, not just 2. So September the 6th is when I will be in Haxby and Strensel with Tothorpe. They are 2 big ones. I'm not doing anything else apart from those 2 on that day. But we will return to York 3 days after that to do Huntington, which is the last one. And Nikki will be with me for that, which will be the only episode of York that Nikki will actually have ever been in, because all the others I've done on my own, would you believe?
Yeah. There's also something else coming up in September, isn't there?
There is. Well, I'll get to that in a second. So on September the 9th, which is a Saturday, that will be the end of the York series, and I will find you, hopefully, if you want to come and see us, outside York Minster, which is where we will have the end of York finale. Of course, I will sort of beat the drum a bit more on that the closer we get to the end of it.
We'll get to see that statue of the Queen, the first statue of the Queen that was unveiled after her death.
Is that outside the Minster?
No, it's actually on York Minster.
Oh, is it? I remember the news article about that. King Charles unveiling it. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. So, yeah, okay. Just quickly answer this question here. When are we getting more Warwickshire? Very soon, actually, because I will be in Warwickshire later this month. I'll be in North Warwickshire along with Leicestershire, Derbyshire and Staffordshire as well, because it's an area which sort of it's around all 4 counties. There used to be a quad point. I'll not give too much away about what I'm doing down there. So yeah, Warwickshire's coming again soon. So keep your eyes firmly on this channel. You will see some more Warwickshire. So, what's the last thing I was going to say?
Other thing going off in September.
Oh yes, the other thing going on in September will occur towards the end of it. I'm going back to Gloucestershire.
Going back to Christmas.
Yeah, if you can remember Christmas just gone, this one here bought me a helicopter ride, didn't you? Now, we hadn't organised when to do it, and we finally found a space to do it, ideally in the week of our wedding anniversary. So on September the 26th, we'll be back down to Gloucester, and I'll be having a go in the helicopter, which is going to be fun. Of course, there will be a video. You all will all get to see me try and fly this thing.
And I'm pretty sure as well that you might go in a village or two while you're down there.
No, I've only planned one, actually. I've only planned one, and the one I've planned is the one where the airport actually, well, it's actually not, it's on the border, but it's the one that's close to it, the one that's closest to it. So I'll knock that off at the same time, but I haven't planned to do anything else that week because I'm really rather excited about this helicopter ride. And I might explore Gloucester a little bit as well with the wifey.
Might be bricking it a little bit about this helicopter ride.
You will be, and you're going to be watching. You're not going to be in the damn thing, are you?
I'm not afraid of flying things.
No, I know. Well, I know you're not. I know you're not. So
just from my corner of things, I've not been out with my camera very much recently, but we are off to Derbyshire Dales this weekend.
Yeah,
there's every chance I might take mine with me and see what's to film.
Yeah, I haven't done one of those little shorts this week to tell you what filming I'm doing this week. That's because I'm not doing any really. But when these two have gone home on Friday, we will be going out on Saturday and doing 3 little ones in the Derbyshire Dales, which are, if you know these, Grindlow, Great Hucklow, and Little Hucklow. So I don't know what you'll find with your camera.
I'll have to see if I find anything with my camera or not. We never know.
Yeah, well, take it and see.
I mean, obviously, I've been, as you guys will have known from the last few videos, I've been in the overtime cupboard regularly because the industry I work in is very busy at the moment. I can't talk about too much about it because I'm told not to talk about what I do. But needless to say, it's very busy. I'm a Monday to Friday 9 to 5 worker, but I have been working weekends. I've been working later in the evenings, and also I'm a remote worker, so I work from home. But we are now starting to sort of drift back into the office. So my time, whilst it's there, is also perhaps going to turn into a bit of a premium as well. So it might be more qualitative and quantitative videos that come from me. But I know I've not done one since Ian.
It's been a weird. I think Ian was the last one you did. Yeah, it's been a while. I know you guys like to see Nikki's videos, so obviously we'll try and fit a few more in, but it's not always possible to do that. Same goes for things like Beyond the Boundaries and Tales from the Village Green. I try and keep up with them as much as possible, but sometimes it's not as easy as it sounds, as I'm sure you can appreciate. I'm not ignoring you, by the way. I'm just checking something on my phone.
Richard, just much to my annoyance, the Hoover is still there.
It is still there. It shouldn't be there, but it is still
there. My annoyance. And the cat is called Angel, and she is most definitely not living up to her name at the moment because she's grumpy.
That's nothing out of the ordinary, let me tell you.
She's Rotherham's version of Grumpy Cat.
Correct. Tartar sauce. Does anyone remember tartar sauce? The Grumpy Cat. I'm sure you all know the Grumpy Cat.
I'm sure everybody remembers.
So, have I been to Belper and Bakewell? No, not yet. Belper is Amber Valley, though. So that will be coming soon because, as you know, Amber Valley has started properly now. And I'm actually, speaking of bricking it, Amber Valley is making me brick it because I'm looking at the size of some of these places in Amber Valley, thinking to myself, bloody hell. I think doing a Ron Weasley impression. I think
what we're going to perhaps end up doing in future is Andy usually takes his Wednesdays to go and work, to go and film. So I think perhaps potentially what he's going to end up doing is film on a Tuesday. work on a Tuesday, and then go straight from work to wherever, do a couple of villages or a village, stay overnight, and then do some more and come back home.
This is what I want to work towards. I mean, I've never actually said that to you, Nikki, but that's basically where I want to go with this.
I've been telling you about it for weeks and months and what have you.
I know, but I don't take that. I didn't want to push anything. Anyway,
thank you, Jamie. You're a gent.
Anyway, speaking of that, that might actually happen for this last thing that I want to talk about, and that's a return to Cambridgeshire. I haven't been to Cambridgeshire since,
guess what?
Last year.
He's not told me about this.
Now, that's because I only planned it a couple of days ago, or potentially planned it.
So you've had 48 hours?
I have, yeah.
What do you think to this 48 hours and he's not told me?
I'm just going to hide. So, yes, anyway.
It's our 5th wedding anniversary at the end of next month. Do you think he's going to make it that far like this?
You guys love the banter, don't you? And it is all banter. It's not serious, is it? It's never serious with us. Those of you who have actually met us will know that obviously we sometimes do appear to be at each other's throats, but we're not. This is all normal. We tend to.
We don't have a doghouse, Richard. He's definitely in the cat bed. That's where he's sleeping tonight. If he keeps this up.
I'd rather not, because the cat normally sleeps on Hannah's bed. I'm not sleeping in her blooming bed. I'll tell you that now. I'll tell you that now. Anyway, as I was saying, a return to Cambridgeshire. I've not been there for a while. It's been nearly a year, actually, since we were in Stilton and folks with Washingley and
I love Stilton.
Morborne and Haddon and Alwalton, where you said I was going to jump in the river. I remember that. Do you remember that? The Alwalton episode where Nikki suggested I jump in the river.
Oh yeah. Remember now. The village that we did without a plan.
Yeah, that's right. We did it without a plan. Well, there definitely will be a plan for these. I'm going to attempt to do something I've not done before, and that is go to an area that is close to Cambridge, and I'm going to go to 8 of them if this goes right. It might be 9. And the reason for that is because there's a brand new settlement called Northstowe, which on the map has its own parish boundaries, but it's not actually a parish yet. So by the time I get there, it might be. So there may be a special video about that one, because it's a bit of a weird anomaly at the moment. It's kind of in limbo between being an actual sort of entity in itself and being part of Longstanton, which is the next one over. It's a strange one. So
like your ideas and your memories, pretty much non-existent, and you don't tell any bugger about them.
if the people in South Cambridgeshire can hear that, Nikki. So yeah, that one could be fun.
That's what you've just said, isn't it? That it's got a boundary, but nothing else.
Yeah, it's got a boundary, but it's not actually a legal entity yet, because it's not been defined as one by the people who do this stuff. So it's kind of in limbo between the two. So that one could be an interesting, I won't say episode, because it might just be a special video of some description. I don't know yet. So yeah, that's going to be fun to have a look at.
All right, there we
We'll get down to Cambridgeshire again. So. Oh, and yes, Jade, you're quite right. 1,000 episodes. We are nearly at 1,000 episodes, which is scary.
That is nearly 10%.
Nearly.
1,000 in a week, and you'll be at 10%.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
10%. No, 1,000 in a fortnight, and you'll definitely be at 10%.
Yeah, which is scary,
yeah.
Quite frankly. But then again, it makes sense. 30 years, and I've done nearly 3, so it is 10%, isn't it? So. Right.
He's a man, what do I expect?
Let's have a look at some of your comments.
I have to say, Catwoman Jones, he was a lot better in the beginning. Now he seems to have got a zip implanted, because he never tells me now. Mind you, I do tell him to bugger off sometimes when I'm working. Anyway.
Yeah, I know.
Jade, we've already spoke about. Have a start of the Christmas shop? No.
Not yet. It's too early. It's only August.
I do mine in about November. Typical Yorkshire folk. Well, I'm Yorkshire, he ain't.
I'm not. I've never been Yorkshire. I live in it, but, Lincolnshire boy to the core here. Or as Lauren calls it, you'll laugh at this.
Land of the watery gravy.
There you go. Don't know whether you heard that, but Lauren calls Lincolnshire the land of the watery gravy.
It's only because he can't make gravy for shit.
Family channel, Mrs.
Yeah, it's PG. After 9 o'clock, it's post watershed.
Well,
I can F and Jeff all I want.
I'd rather you didn't, though, quite frankly.
You don't normally say that.
Yeah, I'm all right.
I'll grass them up.
Yeah, you'll grass me up. So, okay, right. So, the story of the watery gravy goes as follows. So, whenever I am tasked with making Sunday dinner, because to be fair, it's normally Nikki who makes it, I always end up making the gravy too thin for some reason. I never make it thick enough. In Yorkshire, they like thick gravy. I'm sure if there's any Yorkshire folk in here, will agree with that thick gravy is the bomb in this county. However, I am not particularly keen on it being so thick, I should say.
You'd sooner have yours like Bovril.
And mine tends to be a bit more watery. And so for that reason, Lauren calls Lincolnshire the land of the watery gravy because I am from Lincolnshire. So
right. So there's a few more comments coming here. You would have done Mossborough and Brighton. Do you mean Bayton back in the day when they were in Derbyshire? Yeah.
When they were in Derbyshire, yeah. Because they're not anymore.
Jones, have you ever been anywhere that you would really, really like to move to? Well, if we go to somewhere that's really picturesque, like when we were in the Cotswolds, when we were in Northamptonshire, Warwickshire, that kind of thing, and the houses and that were all very pretty and very chocolate box. I'm always in right move, and then I'm gutted because I can't afford them. So yes, been to plenty of places, but don't have the bank balance for it.
There are countless places where I've thought to myself, I could live here.
Yeah,
but it's
a matter of money.
Yeah,
more than anything.
it is really.
Yeah, there's lots of places. To be fair though, I'd move up my seaside, Maine. I think we both took a shine to Warwickshire. Yes, we did.
We did, yeah.
Yeah, we did. It's a year since we were there, isn't it?
Yeah. Like I said, I'll be back there later.
Was it the hottest days when we were there?
It was. It was the 3 really hot days last summer when we were there.
We were melting in a travel lodge room.
What a difference! 365 days, mate.
Yeah, because on the anniversary it was absolutely pickling it down.
It was. Jamie, any Skegness plans? Not yet, but obviously it's East Lindsey. So with West Lindsey coming to an end and East Lindsey now, it's got a foothold. It's started, hasn't it? It won't be long, and I will get to Skegness. I don't think am I able to say this? I mean, Skegness, I know it's Lincolnshire, and you know how I love Lincolnshire and all that.
It's not your favourite place.
No, it's not. I much prefer Cleethorpes and Mablethorpe and Ingermells and Chapel St Leonard's and all those places on the coast.
And all of those I've never been to.
Have you not? No. I'm afraid Skegness doesn't really do it for me, but it will get an episode. So maybe it's got time to change my mind, I suppose.
Okay. So yes, we're getting a few comments about the gravy here. Don't put too much water in it, depending on how you make it. Husband made bangers and mash, and the gravy was thicker than the mash. Cool, I'm coming down. Bisto, yes, definitely.
Yeah, Bisto.
And gravy with bread. I haven't had that since I was a kid.
That's a Yorkshire thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Gravy with bread.
Right. How are you going to do a new intro with your new high vis?
It's the same intro as always. I haven't changed the intros on any of the.
But are you planning to do a new one?
No. The series intros will stay the same. Obviously, I've got my yellow high vis on, which is now in the possession of Jade. But there are still a couple of episodes left with me wearing that, so it's going to have a couple more appearances before it goes away permanently. But it will always be part of the channel still because of the intros. So. Obviously, any new series will have my new.
How often do we get recognised in villages? Fairly regularly.
Yeah,
fairly
regularly. Yeah.
There are some villages that are like, "Who the chuff are you?"
Oh yeah, yeah.
And then, we were on Holy Island, and we've not even been up there ever. And Holy Island is a small place; you can only get on it at certain times a day and come off at certain times a day, and all the rest of it. And this woman just come walking up to me and she went, "You're the village guy."
Yes, because they came from the East Riding. They'd seen some of my stuff in the East Riding.
And stuff, haven't you?
Yeah. So, I mean, it's funny. I mean, people travel around all the time, so there is the potential to be recognised anywhere, I suppose. But, I mean, this is quite funny. I mean,
we've been recognised a fair bit, I think.
The area which I did around Chichester when we were on holiday, there was a guy who wanted to meet me down there because he'd been subscribed for another area or something, and he recognised where we were on the Guess Where I Am, and he was like, "You're down here, aren't you?" I'm like, "Yeah." But he didn't come and meet us in the end because we were going home the day he sort of knew who we were. So, but he is quite excited for these ones that are coming out.
And we've most recently been recognised in Tesco's.
Oh yeah, we have by
Troopers.
Yeah, Troopers, who we normally see in the chat here. He's not here tonight, obviously, but we discovered he works in Tesco the other day.
Let's rattle through some of these comments. So we talked coming in quite thick and fast.
Yeah.
So if we come to Warwickshire, we can go for a drink. Why not?
What's your tipple?
Yeah. I prefer countryside and seaside. Don't like the feel of it. Now, you see, I don't mind either there, Carol, as long as I'm near running water or near flowing water, because the sound of the sea is something that I love, but I also don't mind the sound of a river or a lake or streams or whatever. You know, the sound of water for me is a really therapeutic thing.
Yeah.
Alice would definitely move to the seaside if had the chance, especially in Norfolk.
Yeah.
Warwickshire's beautiful. I lived there for 7 years, but very nice. Schedule's changed a lot now. Loving the Warwickshire love, yeah. If Andy's in the cat bed and can't sleep, then he has to spend the night in the car. There you go.
Not in my car. It's just too uncomfortable in my car.
Has anyone ever sent you a selfie of them stood next to a notice board that you've placed your business card on?
No, they haven't.
You've had notes left on the notice board.
Yeah, obviously we had the Wigginton note that was left for me.
And people have said, "Oh, I've just seen in your card." Well, we have had one picture of a card.
Have we?
Yeah, when it was on those gates that.
Okay.
There was I can't remember. There was a gate, like the gate that to try and stop that they used to stop the getting in the park.
Yeah.
There was a gate that you put a card on, and somebody found that.
I don't remember that.
No,
quite
long
frankly.
time ago.
It must have been ages ago back because I can't remember that.
Police slots is my fave. Yeah, 2p slots. Come to Ireland, plenty of beaches. Yes, we were up on the Antrim coast last year. And I've been to Dublin and I've been down to Cork as well, and I really, really enjoyed. And also in Sligo, Mayo, the Ring of Kerry. I've been around there as well. So if you're Southern Ireland, I've done that bit as well, or some of it. No beer tonight. No, not tonight.
Not tonight.
Nearly bedtime.
No.
Catwoman says anything except cider. Lass.
I'm a cider drinker, though, I must admit. It's going to be good when I get to the West Country, but do it properly because they drink cider all the time out there.
Jay says try Fantasy Island. Richard, sound of water make you want to pee. I'm sure it does. And Dave, don't wish to talk football either, Andy. Derby County lost to Wigan.
I don't know whether you've seen. I assume you're a Derby fan, then, Dave. I don't know whether you've seen the episode I did in Holbrook, in Amber Valley. Mentioned Derby County there. Actually, we saw their training ground actually in one of the Error Wash episodes. Was it Morley? I think it was Morley. They've been mentioned a few times.
Too many sharks in the water in towns too. Yeah, Carol, I think the ones in the towns, the sharks you have to worry about are two-legged and walking on dry land.
Pretty much.
Nat Cat Nicky, maybe. I don't think I've got anything short though. Would we consider a coast-to-coast walk? Well, I would, but I'm off to Chubby Club this week because some of the timber's coming off. So I've got to get a few pounds off first. But I definitely would. I mean, I'd like to do the Pennine Way, but, it's just getting the time and you get the opportunity to do it, as because it'd involve probably some wild camping or bothies or, whatever. So
the best rated county is Shropshire. Hopefully there sometime. Well, I've not been to Shropshire yet. I've not been yet. I've only been to Shropshire a couple of times in the past. So, look at this. There's a bit of Warwickshire Shropshire rivalry here. Right then. So I think by the end of this, I'll be able to tell which is better, Warwickshire or Shropshire, won't I? Right, that's something I'm going to be keeping that in mind. I'm telling you right now.
Panthers or Steelers?
Well, that's an obvious question. If there's any Nottingham Panthers fans here, please see yourself out. Yes,
we met at the Steelers.
Yes, we did. Yeah. We did. I am a Steeler. Nicky's a Steeler. We're all
kids are
Steelers. We're
yeah.
all Steelers.
I actually have a connection, or had a connection with the people who own the Steelers. So I used to go there and used to get comped quite a lot, and used to go there on a regular with the kids when they were little. And I've got a drawer full of shirts and orange flags and things upstairs.
It's been out for a while though. So
yeah.
Anyway,
hang on, there's still a couple more. We've got Shropshire, Warwickshire, Shropshire, Warwickshire, Shropshire, Warwickshire.
Yeah, there's definitely. I never thought Warwickshire and Shropshire would be sort of in competition with each other, quite frankly. But there we are. There we go. There we go. I mean, they're not exactly close to one another. They don't border each other, so I don't know. I can't quite understand that one, but there we are.
So, chaps, the windows open, so I'm sure you can hear the bomb.
Yes, there was a bike outside there.
No, it wasn't a bike. It had 4 wheels.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
Oh, sounded like a bike to me, but there we are.
It was one of those that is being driven by somebody who is. No, I'm going to keep it PG.
Yeah, please do. Anyway, the half hour is up, people, and we are pretty much done.
Yeah.
We're about done.
Actually, I think what it might be wise to do is put this to the vote. Is this going to be a better time?
What, 9 o'clock? Well, we've still got 23 people in here, so I think that's a good enough sort of selection.
I think what we'll do is we'll start a discussion.
Okay.
In the village people, and get some votes. I think, yeah.
Okay, this might be a better time actually. 9 o'clock,
because it seems to be more settled for us, and it means that even if we've got so little visitors, it can still go ahead. So
I vote 9 p.m. in Warwickshire. Brilliant. Okay,
absolutely love it.
You're not a different time zone down there, are you?
Thanks very much, guys, for bearing with us and putting up really with the change, because we're a couple of hours later than usual. I'm very grateful for you. To come on and look at you on anyway, coming on and speaking to us.
I vote 9 p.m. in Nottingham. What have we started? Yeah, so basically, Nottinghamshire is going to get wrapped into this Shropshire Warwickshire rivalry now, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's much appreciated, because you guys all understand very well that for us, our families come first. We're a blended family, and you all understand that. And you've all been very good with the switching around of times and scheduling and things like that. And it is really appreciated, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. So maybe 9 p.m. is the better idea then.
Yeah, maybe, like I said, we'll put it to a vote, have a discussion in the group about it.
Yeah. Okay.
But just before we go, guys, I will say this because he never does. Go and watch another video. Go and watch one of the videos. I mean,
plenty out there now.
I'm ever the marketing. I'm the marketing guru.
Bang in the drum. And just before I go, one last thing. All this Shropshire, Warwickshire, Nottinghamshire, whatever county, you're all wrong. See you later, people. Land of the watery gravy, so says Lauren. See you later. Bye-bye.